Galilee will give us a gift. And see, he'll give us a gift.
And that day has come true. While walking on the seashore after a drought year, they found an old nail.
An ancient nail, then another. We cleaned it a bit. We discovered wood. We looked again and realized it's a boat. We moved along the wood. It was almost a 10-meter-long boat.
We felt we found a great discovery at an international level. Among the experts invited were marine archaeologist Shelley Waxman and his assistant Kurt.
We knew immediately this is an ancient boat. We didn't know how old it was, but we knew that it was ancient.
They touched it with a chisel once, and you saw two dancers up in the air.
Yeah, we did a little dance, and we're very excited.
A crazy race against time and odds started.
As soon as we started excavating it, we were in a sense destroying it. We were opening it up to the air, and the air was its enemy.
My first job as a conservator was to make sure the wood didn't dry out. It's waterlogged wood. The minute it dries out, it turns to powder. We had to use sprinklers, and people had to spray water on it all day long. An awning was built for shade.
The digging around such an ancient and big object required special care.
While we were digging, it became clear that we couldn't use tools near the wood. We had to use our bare hands. As the wood was so soft and spongy, our fingers just went right through it. Then it was time to decide how to move the boat. Experts from the port of Haifa arrived, engineers.
The Air Force and the Navy, the port authorities, the airplane, the Allah.
The Air Force offered us a helicopter.
At the end, it was Warner who came up with the idea of how to actually move the boat.
The solution found was to fill up and wrap the boat with polyurethane, a fast-drying plastic foam. That's how we filled it up from the inside, but how do you fill it up from below? It's filled with mud, and if you remove the sand, it will fall over.
We solved that by digging channels the width of a person underneath the boat.
After digging the channels under the boat, they were filled with foam.
You spray the polyurethane, it expands and settles, and another channel can be made right away.
At the end, the entire boat was covered with polyurethane, and yet it was still not clear how to move it to dry land.
The most logical thing to do was to simply sail it on the Sea of Galilee, and then lift it out with a crane and place it on land.
We brought up a steam shovel, we dug a channel from the pit to the water, and we sailed the boat out. For the first time in 2,000 years, it was sailing on the waters of the Sea of Galilee.
And then the boat slowly began to come up. Everyone was so excited they had tears in their eyes. To sail in a 2,000-year-old boat is simply incredible. The following day, when the crane came to pull it out of the water, there was one very dangerous moment. One wrong move, and it could just disintegrate. The crane lifted the boat and placed it on the shore, and then we could breathe again. We understood that we'd done the first step. We'd completed something.
Describing how they found the boat, how they extracted it, what you just saw. Over there, you have a set of slides showing you how the boat was built, what kind of wood, the system that they built in 2000 years. In the film in Caesarea, a lighthouse. This had a tower with a lighthouse, so the fishermen would know how to arrive there. It was also known as terakai, which is the salting of the fish, because one of their main industries is taking the fish from the Sea of Galilee, salting them, so this is how they could preserve them and ship them to the rest of the country. Now you know a very famous woman who came from Migdal, and her name was Mary of Magdalene. Magdalene is Migdal. A lot of the words you have in the Christian Bible are actually Hebrew words that were later pronounced by people who spoke Latin and Greek, so the pronunciation is a bit different. So we have Arbel, we have Migdal. We are heading towards Gennesaret. When Jesus leaves on the boat and calms the storm, he leaves from Gennesaret. In the north, this is where we'll be visiting in the afternoon. Jesus prefers not to get to Tiberias, but goes all the way to the northern end, to the cities of Bethsaida, Capernaum. This is where he performs a lot of the miracles and where he carries out the Sermon on the Mount. That's at the northern end of the Sea of Galilee. Remember, the Sea of Galilee is actually a lake. It's on the rift. Over there are the Golan Heights, once under Syrian control, today under Israeli control, with some new neighbors we have on the borders over there, which I'll tell you later about. In the Bible, this is the land of the Gadareans. When it describes that Jesus takes the boat to the other side of the sea, and there who does he meet? The demon-possessed man sitting in front of the caves and cutting the chains, and nobody can chain him, and he drives the demons into a herd of pigs, and the pigs drown themselves. That's over there in the land of the Gadareans. This is also the area of the Decapolis, which we talked about and we'll talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow we're passing Scythopolis. You were in one of the cities when you were in Jerash, one of the cities of Decapolis. And as we cannot start the morning without a word of prayer, I invite our pastor.
Isn't this just amazing and exciting to be in this very, very place this morning together? And I was thinking this morning that it was here that Jesus started first calling his disciples. And who did he choose? Highly educated people with a great education and power? No, he chose who? Fishermen. Ordinary men. Fishermen. And he still is wanting to call ordinary people. He uses those people with not much ability. So that why? So that he gets the glory. So that we're not doing it on our own. And that's who he's still calling. And what did those men do? They dropped their nets and they followed him. You know, so many times we get so distracted and we get so caught up in all of the things that we're holding on to and clutching to that we think are so important that we can't just drop them and follow him, because we have so many things that distract us. But I'm so thankful that we can be here this morning. A lot of things happened here on the Sea of Galilee or around this area. But I'm going to read from Matthew chapter 8 that says, "Now when Jesus saw the multitudes about him," now the multitudes that were about him were coming from his teaching there on the Mount of Beatitudes. Do we know where that is, Danny?
Beatitudes?
Yeah, the Mount of Beatitudes.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there. All right, so now when Jesus saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Jesus said unto him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But Jesus said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? I thought it'd be nice if we could just gather around in a circle this morning. If we could all maybe stand together.
Only when Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans did the Jewish authorities cleanse the city. And as a matter of fact, Tiberias is one of the 4 holy cities for Jewish pilgrims over the centuries, and I'll tell you later about the other 3 holy sites for Jewish pilgrims. So this is Tiberias. Then over there where I'm pointing, there's a sort of a V-shaped valley. This is the Valley of the Doves. Just the valley through which Jesus arrives when he's rejected in Nazareth. Remember yesterday we read the way he was rejected in the synagogue. They tried to throw him off the brow of the city, walks through Cana, performs the first miracle, and arrives over here at the Valley of the Doves, very close to the caves of Arbel. The cliff on the left-hand side is known as Arbel, 2 very famous battle sites that are described by the historian Joseph the son of Mattathiah, whom you know as Josephus Flavius, one in the year 37 BC and one in
We are now boarding to the boat at the Sea of Galilee. Yay. Hello everyone. Hello. Boarding, boarding.
We're just about to cruise the Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee. Wala ka na upo sa gitna.
Hey. How do you feel, baby?
I'm happy.
How about you, Ted?
I'm so happy. I'm so blessed that I'm going to this.
How about you, baby?
Oh my, you're blocking the view. The Sea of Galilee.
Thank God I am blessed.
A few moments later.
Breakfast buffet. Leonardo's Breakfast Buffet, April 25.
Wow!
Breakfast is so great at Leonardo's Plaza Hotel. Another check-in at the Leonardo Plaza Center Hotel. Here at Cana, Galilee. Very nice. Ang aking asawa enjoy na enjoy. Praise the Lord. Yes, we are here at Cana, at the back of Cana, Galilee. Yay! Sea of Galilee, our hotel at the Leonardo Plaza. We are enjoying our tour. Praise the Lord.